Contractors, in this video, we're going to talk about how to get out of debt, how to live free without being behind the 8 ball all the time, how to build your business without going into debt. When should you go into debt? I love Dave Ramsey, but I don't agree with everything he says. I do believe you need credit. I do believe there's times to go into debt. So stick around. Let's All right, guys, Brian Allen to the Contractors Contractor. Oh, man, it's been a while. So let's see. Say hi, where you at, where you watching from, all that good stuff. I had originally planned on doing this yesterday, which was Wednesday, the 17th. And my daughter and wife said, we want to go to the movies. We haven't been to the movies forever. Yeah. The Eternals, is this the new Marvel movie? I was like, all right, buy the tickets. So went and seen Eternals yesterday. Actually, it was pretty good. I liked it. Man, did it all, man. It's like freaking popcorn, hot dogs, candy. Man, it's like I need to take. You talk about going in debt. I needed to take a loan out just to pay for that damn movie trip yesterday. Freaking crazy. But man, I'm telling you, look, I've been there. So I grew up extremely poor, never had any money, quit school 16, just, I don't know anything about finances. I don't know anything about money, period. Always been, first 17 years, 18 years of my life, I was on welfare. My mom was getting the money and stuff, even when I worked at McDonald's at 15 and a half. But so when I got into construction, I was making minimum wage even as I was learning the trade. I didn't care though, because I was learning something. But then, you master that trade and get big headed, you end up quitting. Anyway, so I say, yeah, I got my own company now. And if you don't understand money, if you don't understand business, you get these checks, man, they're coming in. I was spending it as fast as it came in, and it's deposits and it's for material. And I've got accounts at these, at supply houses, because I've known these guys forever, because I grew up in the industry, pretty much. So when I'm out on my own, they're like, oh yeah. So I'm getting material and stuff on credit, getting deposits from, and man, I found myself almost owing $100,000, and I've never even seen $100,000. It's mind-boggling what can happen. It's just the money came in. I'd spend it as fast as it came in before the jobs were even finished. And you get to where you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and you're taking deposits from other jobs to buy materials for the job that you're getting ready to start. I mean, it ain't no way to live, man. And people do this. God, I don't know what, 80% of the population, 90% of the population, but they're not business owners like we are. So when you're living from paycheck to paycheck, borrowing, you're doing that check into cash and all that other bullshit that should be outlawed, and it's not. So the same way I learned marketing and sales and business by books and cassette tapes and going to seminars and week-long seminars and a couple of hours here and there of trainings, and anybody that said they could teach finances and all this other stuff and accounting and bookkeeping and taxes and all that shit, man, I was trying to gobble it up, because you don't sleep at night, man. You pull your hair out thinking, man, you got to make these payments, you got to pay payroll, you got creditors, and it's maddening. And I don't want you to be there. It's not fun. And you get behind the 8 ball, because what ends up happening is you end up taking jobs that you shouldn't take. And you lower your price to get jobs that you don't even want. And you're in the middle of these jobs, and you're trying to cut corners to save money because you didn't charge what you should have charged anyway. The only reason you took the fucking job is because you're broke and you need the money. And now you're trying to cut corners, and you cut the corners. And now at the end of the job, you're trying to get the final payment, and the clients aren't happy. Next thing you know, you're on fucking YouTube with a sledgehammer, knocking tile off the wall. I don't know. But I've been there, and you don't want to be there. We're going to go through this stuff and just kind of figure it out. Ask me some questions. Say hi. What's up, sir? Hey, from Carolina. Oh man, Patrick, brother, I ain't seen you in a long time. Oh man, miss you guys. I'm gonna be doing this every week, like clockwork. We're gonna do it on Wednesdays. It's gonna be midweek motivation Wednesday. You don't want to miss next week. It's next week's title is you ain't that special. You ain't that important. But man, so you find yourself in debt. And sometimes it's okay. I mean, really, it's like I have bought I've bought hundreds of a little book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I've probably bought 30 or 40 of them in Spanish to give to my guys that don't even speak fucking English. Because immediately, as soon as they come to work for us, we want them to understand how to manage their own money, how to save, how to put money away. Because man, when you got money in the bank account and you're going to work and you see that savings account grow and grow, life is better. I'm sorry, man. People, money's not the most important thing in the world, but it's up there with oxygen. I'm telling you, man, people who say money's not that important and you don't need it and it can't buy half of a cake, be wary of those people because they'll lie about other stuff also. I've been dirt poor and I've had some nice chunk of change. I live a pretty nice lifestyle. And trust me, having money has always been better. It's always been better. And it's like you get into construction, man, these big checks coming in and you spend it as, you know, because I didn't know. You spend it as quick as it comes in. So here's the first thing. First and foremost is, so if you don't get anything else, get this. Once you say you're in business for yourself, once you say you got your own company, all the money that comes in, the checks that come in, everything that comes in no longer belong to you. Everything goes into the business account. Everything you want, that's what this is, fat cash heavy. You want your company to be fat cash heavy. Is you work for that company. Yes, you own it, but you're the first employee that company has. When you watch my trainings on how to hire and train outstanding employees, you're the one that sets the example. As the first employee of your own company, you're going to be getting paid probably the least amount because your goal is to pay yourself the least amount of money you can get away with. You want all the money to go into the company and get that company fat cash heavy. You don't want shit on credit. I'll talk about that in a second because credit is so cheap right now. It may be, sometimes it's better to have stuff on credit, but back in the day, man, you know, like in the 80s and 90s, the freaking interest rate was like 25% and higher, 18%, 17%, 12%. But right now, it being 2%, 3% interest, I would rather you keep that money in your savings account, the business savings account, not your savings account, the business savings account. Like if you're buying equipment or something, not supplies. Supplies pay hardcore cash for that shit. You know, dial it out, maybe. And all of it really is like, I think Dave Ramsey says that, but pay in cash, man. Because when you're paying in cash, you get to see that hard earned money leaving your hand and you second guess, do I really need this? That's why they love using the credit cards, the ATM cards, even Vegas now. Man, we used to go to Vegas, man. You pull that slot machine and the big coins would drop down. Pang, 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 dropping in that pan. You'd be all excited. And now it all ends up on a stupid ass little card because they don't want you putting money in. But I digress. So, but try to pay cash. You get deposits. You may even want a second, and you go to your banking account. You can do 2 or 3 different savings account, but you may want one savings account that's pure deposits. So when you get deposits, whether it's a deposit to schedule a job, we get $75 every time we go out and meet with a client just to even look at their project. And I don't like spending that. Even it's $75, man. I don't know. I don't even want it going anywhere in the accounts. It's a little extra money, but it goes in. You have a savings account that's just deposits. So when the job comes around, you still have all of that money. And trust me, I know, because I'd get a deposit, I'd get the freaking money, and it's all spent before the job's even started. And man, now you're working and you're like, oh man, it just isn't this, it just ain't the same. So first and foremost, I get this, is all the money that comes in belongs to the company, not you. You pay yourself the least amount that you can get away with. And I don't know, man. I don't know what that is. It's different for every trade. It's different for every area. You know, because it's just you got to figure out what that is. Because some guys like, man, you know, we put ourselves on a salary, man. I'm worth way more. I'm worth about $3,000 a week, but I only pay myself $1,000 a week. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you ain't worth that. What would you make if you worked for someone else? So if you would work for someone else and they would pay you $30 an hour, pay yourself $20 an hour. Learn to live that lifestyle. Up here where you see the 20-80 rule. If you look it up, Google the 80-20 rule, and it's the 80-20 rule is this. It's like 80% of the work that comes in, the leads that come in, are generated by 20% of your effort. So meaning like whatever it is that you're doing, it's 20% of that is bringing in 80% of the leads. And that's every area of your life, every area of everything. But I reverse it to where I want you to learn to live on 20% of your income. And then everybody's like, what? No. You mean save 20% and live on 80%. No, I mean, live on 20%, save 80%. Well, Brian, that's stupid, man. You can't do that. Look, man, that's the goal. Okay. That's the goal. You don't need to be spending 80% of everything that comes in. Trust me. Elon Musk, he's not spending 80% of everything he earns. He's probably living on less than 20% of it. What's the dude from Amazon? What's his name? Someone give me his freaking name. The Jeff Bezos. He's not spending 80% of his freaking billions of dollars. He's living on less than 20%. And you can live on it. It's just look, man, and I ain't pointing fingers because I've done it. I still do it. It's something I still struggle with, but it's the fact that the money comes in is like, man, when I first started, my first job was, but besides baling hay and picking tobacco during the summers and stuff, the first real job I got where it was the taxes and ID and shit was McDonald's. I think it was like $2.86 an hour way back then. But even now, if I was working at McDonald's, I could, whatever they paid me, whatever it was going to be, $10 an hour, I would have to live on that $10 an hour. In today's society, for some fucking reason, everybody thinks they deserve a $1,200 computer phone in their hand, and Netflix and Apple TV and Amazon Prime and Hulu and all the other ones and the pay-per-view fights and all these. Like, no, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Just because stuff exists in the world doesn't mean you deserve it. If you want to deserve it, you got to earn it. So if the 20-80 rule, learn to live on 20% of what the money that comes in. If you want to live a better life, earn more fucking money. All right. It's that fucking simple. It's that simple. To get out of debt and stay out of debt is very simple. It's like losing weight. You burn 3,000 calories a day, eat 2,000 calories a day, you're going to lose weight. It's that fucking simple. Don't believe me? Watch the TV show Naked and Afraid. They're out there for 21 days. Watch how much weight they lose not eating. So it's very simple. It's different if you're trying to, tone up and build muscle and all this other shit. You're trying to sculpture your body. That's what we're talking about. We're sculpturing your business. That's why the business has to be fat, cash, happy. And that's why you deprive yourself. I do like what Dave Ramsey says. What is it? I don't even know what the fuck he says, but it's deprive yourself, today, live different today than other people do, so that you can have tomorrow what other people don't have. Some shit. He says something like that, but it's true. So you deprive yourself right now for the next 3 to 5 years, building up your business and putting equity into your business, because when it comes time to grow your business, you need that money. And I ain't talking about, I don't know, it's like we all got something we could buy in our industry, whether it's $2,000, $10,000, $20,000 piece of equipment, $30,000 piece of equipment. And if you've got the money in your cash, fat, happy account, I may not want you spending that. I may want you to go in debt, because right now, 2%, 3% interest, I'm okay with that. Make that fucking payment. One, you get to write the interest off, check with your accountant. But even like hire me as a business coach, or the websites and the marketing and the Google ads and all that shit, all that's money that doesn't go to Uncle Sam anyway. That's money that that you're writing off at in your taxes. But so I would rather you keep that money in your account and make that small payment. When I'm anything over 8% interest, maybe even 5, above 5. 5 is okay too. So let's make 5 and below the cutoff. Anything above 5% interest, I want you paying that off as quickly as you can, because that's money that you could be borrowing from yourself. And you can borrow money from yourself, pay yourself a little bit of the interest, just making your company that much more fat cash happy. Some of the equipment that you own, even as an individual, your cars, you can lease back to yourself. You got to get a good CPA. The equipment that you have, you could be leasing that back to the company that you own, all of that stuff. So, but right now you find yourself in debt. And let's see, JB, man, damn it, JB, and Kit, man, y'all got to get on these Zoom calls so I can see you. Y'all hiding right now, or I can't pull you out and talk about you. But I know I ain't special. JB, you are special. You ain't window licking short bus wearing the helmet special, but you special. Oh man, Danielle, what's up, guys? Kit, at the very least, what's up, brother? Yeah, yep. Daniel said Jeff Bezos. They got the money, man. They trust me. They ain't, because the majority of people, man. I tell you, man, when I see those checking the cash places and all that quick car loans and shit, god dang, those should be outlawed. It's a cycle that you can't break. That's we pay our guys the if it's not subcontractors that we use, like our in-house employees and stuff, they get paid on fucking Mondays, because 25 years ago I got tired of paying them on Friday. Some of them wouldn't show up on Monday because they hung over, or when they did show up on Monday, they showed up hung over, borrowing money, needing gas to get back and forth to work. And I'm like, oh, hell no, we're going to stop this right now. Y'all getting paid on Monday. And talk about, it was ugly in the beginning. Eventually they were happy. And, and then once but once that's that's how you do things, they know when they get hired that they get paid on Monday. But man, when you're trying to change it midstream, no, they don't like that. But yeah, you pay them on Monday, they got money all week long, and they show up on Monday because that's payday. But so right now, let's talk about if you're in debt, you're behind the 8 ball, and it's no fun. But whether you're in debt or not, but if you are in debt, here's how you get out. But I want you to have a wall, what we call a wall of blessings. And you gotta have your goals. One, and goals is, let's pick a number for that fat cash. I don't know. You may not even have, like, I talk to a lot of contractors. They're like, fuck, man, I ain't got no savings account. The hell, what is a savings account? My kids spend it quicker than that comes in. I understand that. But let's start with, like Dave Ramsey, get $1,000 in that savings account as quickly as you can. And then I want 5 grand, 10 grand. I want you up to 50 grand. I'd like to see 100, but 50 grand in the savings account of your fat cash happy business should that's what your goal should be, man. Because when you're sitting there looking at that 50 grand, you feel a little bit better. You stand a little taller when you show up and you're on the phone talking to clients, and you know that, hey man, if I don't get this job, I don't give a fuck. I got 50 grand in the bank. I ain't gonna go through that next week. And if your Bitcoin goes up, you really you don't need them. But yeah, so set the goals, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. And I want it on the wall. I want it on the wall. Get your notebook. You guys know, man, for me, there's no more powerful weapon than the sword and shield. And for me, that sword and shield is your journal and your pen. I want you to track everything in all areas of your life, but we're talking finances right now. So, it doesn't come out of your pocket and into someone else's hand, whether it's cash, credit card, ATM, debit card, whatever Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, I don't care. Money changing hands, whatever that shit is, none of it happens until you wrote it down in your journal. So you picking up supplies at Sherwin-Williams, whatever it is, the guy tells you how much it is, write that shit down, pay the guy. You get ready, you're online, you get ready to do something, blah, blah, blah. You got your credit card out, boom, 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 put it in your journal. I want every penny in, every penny out written in your journal. Yes. Years ago, we used to have these things called checks, checkbooks. And every month, every week, you would balance your checkbook and all that shit. They used to teach it to you in high school. I don't know what they do now. But yes, your bookkeeper and your accountant and all that other stuff, but I want you to physically see it as you're writing it down and you're spending this money and you're giving these guys loans, your employees and all this, anything. Man, it goes in that journal. It goes in that journal. Next, that's number one. Number two is I want you to have a wall of blessings. And that means you're going to take a sheet of paper like this, and it's going to be on the wall everywhere. For every blessing, there's going to be one sheet of paper. And this is going to be your cell phone bill, the payment, cell phone payment, Netflix payment, your mortgage, your lease, your whatever, everything that you owe money to is going to have its own little sheet of paper. And I want it on the wall. And those are called blessings. They're not called bills, because you right now constantly you get, it used to be, and I think some people still do, we get the bills in the mail. And that's, you hear people say, oh man, all I get in the mail is bills. And I'm like, dude, all you get in the mail is blessings, because that's shit that you've already used. The Netflix and the electricity and the air condition. You think you're writing out bills and payments and, oh man, but those are blessings. Trust me, because when you don't have them, you understand how big of a blessing it is. So I want you to have a wall of blessing, but I want you to be able to see it physically. We do far more to avoid pain than we'll ever do to gain pleasure. You think it would be the opposite, but it's not true. You avoid pain 10 to 1 more so than pleasure. So I want you to see that pain of everything that goes out every week, every month. I want you to be able to look up instantly and see how much money goes out, how much money you need to make every week, every day. I want you to see it physically. Because when I go through it, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I don't live as high on the hog as we used to. But even now, I think we need 15 grand a month just to break fucking even, just to pay everything out, pay all those blessings out and keep my daughter happy. We need about 15 grand to break even. Not talking about all my fucking little outings and vacations that I take out. But you need to know that. You need to know what your numbers are. All of that stuff. And then you're going to watch it come down. Each of these blessings. So you may have some credit cards right now. And if it's above that 5% that we just talked about, those have got to be paid off as quickly as you can. You're going to be building up this goal. You get that $1,000. And then you're going to be adding to it. How much can you add to it? You'll do a couple little side jobs here and there, whatever it fucking takes. Get to that next level. But I don't want you I don't want you building this goal. I don't want you putting money into that savings account if you've got these high interest rate credit cards that need to be paid down. People talking about, oh man, should I consolidate, get a small business loan? Should I do this? Should I do that? If you got like 5 or 6 credit cards or loans or something, and you can get one loan with a lower interest rate, yes, man, of course you can. And again, it goes back to common sense. That doesn't mean you pay off 3 credit cards because it has 0. And I'm not going to tell you to cut it up, because you may need it one day, but you definitely don't want it in your wallet. You definitely don't want it in your wife's purse. Put it somewhere, I don't know, put it in your gun safe. You know, so if you do need to get to it, you know, something happens. I just had to put a fucking transmission in my truck. That's $3,500. I didn't have. That's a blessing. Yeah, I don't need any more blessings. but because you need that money, man. You need that money. So you may need that one day. But any of those interest credit cards and stuff. So yeah, if you can consolidate, get rid of 5 or 6 credit card debts or whatever it is, and make one payment. One payment is easier just to put on the fucking wall of blessings, you know. So instead of having 8 that equal up to freaking 30,000, just have the 1 and try to get the lowest interest rate you can, and then pay it down as quickly as you can. And that may be the goal, you know, instead of, you know, you definitely never, ever, ever making that minimum payment. Yeah, you may be in the position right now to where you have to make that minimum because you don't want to fuck up that credit score. You want to get your credit score up higher because then you get the lower interest rates. But the goal is to pay it off, not to keep giving other people money, because you're just giving other people your money. So and check with the accountants. Tell them, like, look, man, I'm paying this much in interest, and this is for cars, gas, and this. And if it's work related, you should be able to write it off. But that's what you want, man. I want you to do the 20-80 rule. Yes, that's the goal. Yeah, I want you to make so much fucking money that you can live on 20%. Let's think of it like that. Because when I say live on 20%, you're like, oh, hell no, man. I can't even live on 100% of what I make right now. Well, make more money, bitch. I mean, but make so much money like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, make so much fucking money that you can live on 20% and the rest just goes somewhere for your kids or something. I don't know. Where the hell, you can't take it with you. Man, spend it all, live happy. I don't know, man. Get some Jack and Coke. But I want you to have that wall of blessings. I want you to set the goals. And the goal is to make your company fat cash happy. And again, man, use that journal, use the pen and the paper to keep track of everything. You go into Starbucks, wherever the hell you go, whatever it is, McDonald's, I don't care, man, put it in the journal. So at the end of the week, you can just really reflect and look back. You're not beating yourself up mentally, but man, the more you remind yourself of where you're spending these pennies, it's going to come to a realization to where you go, oh my God, I didn't know I was spending this or that or whatever. And like, because you ask almost anyone, where'd the money go? I don't know. It's like, what do you mean? You don't, yeah. That's the kind of guy you want to hire to run your company. The guy who goes, I don't know. Man, you got to know where every freaking penny goes in advance. All right, man. That's it for tonight. 4:25. We right on time. Anybody got any questions before we get out of here? Anybody? Patrick said, preach, brother. Hey, Patrick, I may be, I don't know, man. It's in the works. We may be opening up a second location. I'm going to partner up with another guy, open up a second location, flooring company, maybe outside of Atlanta, Georgia. See how that goes. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Download this, upload it to YouTube, but I think it's always right here on Facebook for you. No matter when you're watching this, you got any questions, tag me, hit them in the comments, and I will answer them. Bradley said, I concur. I appreciate it. Appreciate it to all you guys. JB, Kit, I want to see y'all's ass on the Zoom Monday night, especially you, Kit. Man, I made that damn thing for like 6 o'clock, at 3 o'clock my time, so at 6 o'clock your time, because the kids should be somewhere and you should be able to get to the freaking computer. Daniel, what's your thoughts on the line of credit versus the credit card? It always, brother, always goes back to the interest rate. But I do like having the, I like both. I mean, it really is the interest rate, depending on which one I use. And again, I'm not the one that's going to tell you to cut the cards up, because I know something can happen and you need it right then and there. And then you pay it off as quickly as you can. And that's with all credit cards. Use them, because you got to build, like Dave Ramsey. That's one thing I really disagree with him, is you need fucking credit in America. I don't know about Bangladesh and Mexico and all this other stuff, but in America, the higher that credit score is, the lower your interest rates, the more respect the banks and the small business associations, those guys giving loans, even like your supply houses and stuff. You got that high ass credit score, they treat and talk to you a little bit different. Everything is different. The down payment is different. Everything is different. So man, use those credit cards, pay it off at the end of the month, instantly. And you can do that when you're writing it down in your journal, and you can be using your credit card and taking the money from your check-in, whatever the hell it is, and putting it, because you can have as many savings. Go to your bank, you can have as many savings account, and you can name them whatever the hell you want. And one could just be credit card savings, to where even though you're using your credit card, you take it out of your checking, put it immediately into your credit card savings account. So at the end of the month, that money's already there, already allocated for it. Does that make sense? But yeah, so either way, you got to have that credit, you got to have the line of credit, any of that stuff. Boom, I'm trying for Monday. It's crazy. All right, brother. Economy wise, what do you predict is coming? Damn, brother, don't ask me that shit. Go to my YouTube channel and watch the video I did like over a year ago. I think right about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. Was, are you ready for the next recession? I just, man, I really, like, right now, as busy as we've been over these last several years, I really wish everyone was super fat cash happy right now, because I just don't know how long it can continue to go like it's been going. And here in Southern California, it's just, we're busier than we've ever been. Hired a couple of different subcontractors. The guy that took over my business, I came back in. I said, man, I said, we got to grab some of this money. I don't know how long this is going to last. To where we're booked up all the way till January, and which is crazy because I normally try not to book up more than 3 weeks in advance. And as I'm getting booked up, we're adding 10 to 20% every time. So if I get booked up 3 weeks where I want to be, our prices go up 10% immediately. If you get booked up another week in advance, or we're booked up for 4 weeks, prices go up another 10% instantly. And people know this through text messages. And I even tell them my prices are right there. And like, I don't know when you need it, but we're booked up, boom. And man, like 2 weeks ago, the same week, 2 weeks ago, and I've got higher prices now than I just, it boggles my mind that people say yes. And again, because we're so booked up, they're going up another 10%. And it's not price gouging, it's just supply and demand. It's like there's only so much of us to go around, even though we grabbed a couple more subcontractors. And the reason I grabbed a couple more subcontractors is because, like I said, 2 weeks ago, in the same week, you text them the number is crazy high. They're like, okay, when can you start? You've seen in the text message that we're booked up till back then, I think it was like December 14th or something. And they're like, man, we'll give you $1,000 on top of what you just asked if you can get us in earlier. The wife is like, nope, we can put you on the waiting list. The guy's like, can you put me on I'll give you $1,000 extra waiting list. And she's telling me this. And behind her back, I called him up and said, hey, man, we'll be there when you need us. I called up some dudes. I said, hey, man, I'll do it with you. Let's go do this. Let's get this money, because of what I don't know what's going to happen to the economy. I want the money right now before people start changing their minds. And I can, get my own fat cash happy. But two clients in the same week in over 30 years, I don't think that's ever happened. And again, that's on top of already raising our prices 10%, 10%, 10%. So I think right now we're probably 40% higher than we were at the very beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, it's because it's just been so busy. And to where our text message was say we're booked up till yada yada, but I took that out because I'll just hire more subcontractors, something. I'll get it done. I ain't turning away the easy money, especially when they're we're charging the prices that we're charging and they're saying yes. So yeah, so all of that for the economy wise prediction is, man, make it right now, because I don't know. But there's always, and the reason I'm able to raise the prices 10%, 10%, 10%, the reason all of that crap is because of when you watch that video, how to dominate your trade in your area and 10x your business, that thing. It's like I've got so many videos online. People are amazed. Like I don't get on the phone with them, but when I do, or when they do see me, it's like, and I ain't hooting my own horn or whatever the other shit, but it's like when I do show up, it's like, oh my God, you guy in the video. It's like, yeah, it's me. But the jobs are pretty much sold by the time when they call us. Those people, they call to see, when you get on the schedule, blah, 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 all this other shit. But that's why I hound you guys so much. The video testimonials, video content. And right now, more contractors are starting to listen. I'm starting to see them pop up as I'm starting to see more video testimonials. It's like, good for you guys. So my guys that I'm working with, and I show them, I say, so what makes you stand out is your video testimonials have to be better than your competition's video testimonials. And honestly, but in your area, it probably hasn't started happening yet. But when it does, it's like, you got to be in the video with them and laughing. And there's a bunch to it. But all of that, but yeah, so all of that to say, even when there is a downturn, even in 2008, 2007, when everything took a big dump, most of the people who went out of business in the trades were guys who should not have been in business anyway. And I know you guys see it right now. When I go on job sites and I see some of these paint jobs, I cringe. I'm like, oh shit, these people are paying these guys to paint the house like this, or whatever it is. It's like, there's so much work right now that guys who are doing work that shouldn't be doing the fucking work. And those are the first ones to go out of business when the economy does take a dump. But I don't know if we raised our prices during 207, 208, 209, but we stayed busy. It was because of the website, the YouTube, and all this other shit. And other guys are going out of business. And I had the same arrogant asshole attitude that I always do. And people were buying these, all the houses that were in foreclosure. These investor companies were buying them, and people were fucking shit up before they left. I mean, taking axes and shit to drywall and dragging stuff across the floor, gouging it. I mean, they were tearing these places up, and I don't blame them. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing was a mess. And I didn't turn down the money. I took the money. All right. I took the money, but I felt bad doing it, working in the houses, knowing that someone had just lost that house. And as I'm working on the house, I'm looking around, and I know that the people who just lost that house through foreclosure, it really hurt me, because I knew that if the bank had gave them the same price that this investment company just did, they would have been able to afford it. Does that make sense? So they own this loan. The house is worth, they owe $500,000 on it, and they can't make the payment. They end up kicking these people out. The people lose the house. They sell it to an investment company for like $225, $230. But if they had to give the people who live there, if they had to give them that price, they would have been able to keep it. So I don't know. It kind of bugged me. So we definitely didn't lower the price at all, but we stayed busy. So there's always money to be made, even in the low turning of it, but you got to put yourself in position. And that's why that video, are you ready for the next recession? Take a look at it. Subject to cover later. Yes, sir. Have you ever heard of the YNAB? That's what I use to move that money to a CC category, and I pay it off every week. No, I haven't heard of it, but yeah, man, if you're paying it off every week, that's phenomenal. Phenomenal. So perfect. Yeah, the key should be in the truck.
It's not starting. Is there a trick to it?
What? Hey, just turn it over. All right. That's the wife bugging me. It's supposed to be dinner and all that shit. So, all right, guys. Next week, Wednesday. Should be Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday. Hey, man, does this time work for you guys, man? Because it's like I got these dudes on the Pacific Coast and dudes on the East Coast trying to get in bed. Man, you can't please everybody. 4 o'clock this time, 5, 6, 7 East Coast for Kit. So anyway, man, you watching this later on, hit me up. I will answer the questions. Go make your bank account fat cash happy. All right, brothers, I'm out of here.